Way, which is the next application. You can stay, you're not going to comment, you're not going to vote, so yeah, I wouldn't.
It's recording now, so just got to hold it. Oh, she's going to do it, it's fine.
Obviously we're worried about body language or something. Okay, so Portland Way, so it'll be the officer to introduce. We have two speakers again, so could the officer introduce the report, please?
Okay, thank you, Chair. I'm going to start the presentation tonight with some details about the existing site and the area in general. I'll then move on to details of the proposed development, followed by an explanation of the key considerations and the reasons for the officer's recommendation, which, as you'll be aware, is a recommendation for approval subject to refer to the Mayor, signing of Section 106 agreements and the 38 planning conditions set out within the report. So the application site, 6 Portway, is located in North Acton, approximately 200 metres south of North Acton Station and 600 metres north of Acton Main Line and the planned Crossrail station. The site currently has a PTAR rating of 6 and is located within the Gypsy Corner controlled parking zone. The site is located within the Park Royal Southern Gateway, as identified in the Council's adopted site's DPD, the Park Royal Opportunity Area, the Old Oak Common Opportunity Area. Other relevant policy includes the Old Oak and Park Royal Opportunity Area Planning Framework and the recently published draft Old Oak Local Plan. The area is identified as having a capacity to deliver 24,000 new homes and 55,000 new jobs. The application site itself is currently occupied by courtyard-style developments comprising warehouse and manufacturing space with ancillary offices. It consists of approximately 4,700 square metres of floor space and has parking for 43 cars. It currently takes its pedestrian and vehicle access from Portway. The immediate area has been the subject of significant developments that have been before this committee in the last 12 months, including 1 Portway, which contains buildings up to 32 storeys in height, 764 residential units, and approximately 7,000 square metres of commercial space. Also recently before this committee was the perfume factory, which included buildings up to 33 storeys in height, including 534 residential dwellings and approximately 9,000 square metres of commercial floor space. Other existing developments in the area include residential, including student accommodation, commercial and retail in buildings of various heights from 2 to 18 storeys. So moving now to the proposed development subject to the application before you tonight. The application, which has been submitted in detail and concerns a comprehensive redevelopment of the site involving demolition of all existing buildings. It is proposed that they are replaced with 4 blocks located around the perimeter of the site, ranging in height from 9-storey, 11-storey, 2 towers of 32 storeys and 42 storeys. The blocks are arranged around a communal courtyard garden and above a double-storey basement level. A new east-west pedestrian route is proposed on the site's southern boundary, connecting Victoria Road and Portway. The proposed blocks will accommodate retail, office and community uses on the ground and the first floors, comprising 3,179 square metres of flexible space that can come forward in a variety of different uses. At the upper floors, 578 dwellings are proposed, including 1, 2 and 3 bedroom dwellings. Communal spaces provided at ground floor level with courtyard garden and roof terraces are also proposed. In addition, each dwelling will have access to private outdoor space in the form of a balcony or terrace. 1,400 square metres of children's play space is also proposed. The proposed basement will contain car parking for 76 vehicles, 68 for residential use and 8 for use for commercial occupiers. 66 of the bays are sized for disabled persons' use, and 20% will have charging facilities for electric vehicles. The basement will also accommodate plant, refuse storage, cycle storage for 860 bicycles, and space to accommodate the servicing of the proposed commercial units. Finally, back at surface level, a further 20 cycle spaces are proposed for public realm. As are public realm improvements to the perimeter of the site, including tree planting and widening of footpaths. The proposal is liable for seal payments of 1.6 million. Section 106 agreement with various clauses to secure training, transport improvements, healthcare, education, highways improvements, and a total financial contribution of 2.6 million. Finally, affordable housing package has been secured that will see 28% of all units, 164 dwellings in total, being secured as affordable housing. Affordable housing will be in the form of discounted market rent, discounted at various levels from 20 to 30% for a period of 20 years. The package also includes a review mechanism to secure any changes in the scheme's viability, and subject to viability, a reversionary payment will be secured at the end of the discounted period. So moving on to the considerations, clearly there are numerous important considerations in the development proposal of the scale of the one before you tonight. And the scheme has been the subject of extensive negotiation over a number of months to ensure the proposals represent an acceptable form of development and will bring with it much needed new housing and jobs while ensuring the amenity of existing residents. The capacity of the local community infrastructure is not significantly affected. The application is supported by an environmental impact assessment and has robustly considered the impact of the proposed development with regard to various environmental and social considerations. Conclusions being that there will be no significant adverse impact arising from the proposed development. Any minor adverse impacts are capable of being mitigated, and the proposal would also lead to a number of positive impacts. The proposed development would deliver a high number of residential properties to help meet the need for new housing within the borough and London as a whole. The proposed development is considered to have been designed to a very high standard, with architecture that will significantly enhance the local environment and act as a catalyst for further generation in this important gateway site. The residential dwellings themselves are also of a high standard, meeting all space standards and providing a good level of accommodation with good levels of privacy and amenity. All dwellings have access to communal and private outdoor amenity. The proposed commercial units will provide the potential to accommodate retail and restaurant uses, which will add vitality to the area. But the proposed flexibility will also allow the spaces to be used for office use, children's nursery, or healthcare uses such as doctor's surgery, should the need be identified. The commercial uses will also generate up to 270 jobs, an uplift of around 150 new jobs over the current situation. The new east-west link provides permeability through the area and will link up with the open spaces and proposed pedestrian routes through the one waterway site once developed. The proposed height of the buildings has been considered in terms of both the local and wider context. The impact of these taller buildings has been evaluated by a comprehensive townscape and visual impact assessment, which has assessed the impact of the taller buildings from important viewpoints both within the borough and neighbouring boroughs. The assessment concludes that whilst the taller buildings will be visible from a number of vantage points, the proposals, including the cumulative impact with other consented schemes, will not have a detrimental impact or adversely affect any heritage assets or views of significance. During the course of pre-application discussions, various amendments have been sought, reducing the width and mass of both the towers. As now proposed, they appear as slender, elegant structures that will contribute positively to the townscape and the cluster of tall buildings that is emerging in this area. The proposed architecture has also been carefully considered and been subjective of extensive negotiation. It is considered the design solution that's been achieved is of a high quality. At the lower levels of the development, a red face and brick is proposed, incorporating arch features, providing a rhythm to the base of the development, giving it a human scale. This ensures the development is more legible at the lower levels without being dominated by the height of the towers. The towers themselves incorporate a wave fenestration created by alternate angled projecting balconies that gives visual interest to the towers, and they will appear visually striking from medium and longer distant views. The positioning of the towers themselves has also been carefully considered. Their positioning within the site allows reuse to be appreciated between the towers, so they do not appear as a large mass of built form. The positioning also responds to the location of existing buildings to ensure no direct overlooking or loss of privacy occurs. It has also been demonstrated through a detailed daylight and sunlight report that proposals will not lead to significant adverse impact on the living conditions of either existing or future residents. The positioning of the buildings have also been reviewed in terms of the context of existing taller buildings in the area, as well as those proposed on other sites in the locality. The proposed buildings will form a cluster of taller buildings in this area. It is necessary for the cluster to not appear as a consistent mass of development, and therefore variance in height as well as visual gaps through the cluster from some angles help to achieve a successful cluster of buildings. The height and positioning, together with the width and depth, have been assessed in this context and are considered to be acceptable. Communal spaces provided at ground floor level within the courtyard and roof terraces are also proposed. In addition, each dwelling will have access to private outdoor space in the form of a balcony or terrace. Moving on to density, the proposed density of the development is 1,005 dwellings per hectare, or 2,483 habitable rooms per hectare. This density is in excess of the Mayor's upper limits as set out in the London Plan density matrix, which identifies an upper limit of 405 dwellings per hectare and 1,005 habitable rooms per hectare. It should be noted that density ranges should not be applied rigorously, and density standards are only one measure in determining acceptability of the scheme. There are many schemes within Ealing and London where a scheme is acceptable in all other ways, and in these cases, much higher densities can be realised. In this case, there are a number of factors that justify a higher density. These include good access to public transport, a good range of amenities and employment opportunities, location within an opportunity area, the effect of the proposals on the environment, including neighbouring amenity, has been robustly tested through the EIA process. 51% of the site will be retained as public open space. So in conclusion, Officer's recommendation is to grant detailed planning permission subject to any direction of the Mayor of London and subject to compliance with the relevant planning conditions and completion of a satisfactory agreement. Before finishing, I just refer members to the briefing note which sets out some clarifications with regard to report, revised conditions and notes from TfL. Also, this evening we received a further objection from Rupert Huck MP, who raises issues of overdevelopment, overbearing too tall, compatibility with London Plan, and environmental reasons. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, very comprehensive. Councillor Kate Crawford, you wanted to speak on this?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah.